Now we came to day 3. If you didn't watch previous videos, please go backwards in the playlist if you want. What we have done since today could be more clear then. But if we try to summarize, previously in .NET migration, we had implemented the backend first day, and the day after we implemented a React Next.js user interface application. Now we're facing an issue because some pages, especially order screen, loading hundreds of rows and trying to render a HTML table with 800 rows to be exact. This is meaningless in point of user experience, and it's a burden on the server side, both application and database. Please think about concurrent users. You will get what I meant. Paginating, this kind of long listing pages are helpful for better user experience and performance of the app. This is a way among much others to create more convenient applications. Let's do it. I start the backend first, and let's do a server-side pagination. So let's go to the folder of API and check the files and open the Visual Studio Code first. Here it is. So we will start from bottom to top. So let's go to iBase provider, and our provider, as you can see, has a getList function here, getList async. We need to overload this function with the same name, and we need to get skip and take parameters as integers. So the skip means the records needs to be skipped from the start, and take is the records we need to take at that index. So this is in our interface. Let's go to the base provider and implement that interface. I mean, it's already complaining about it, and here we are. Let's click implement interface, and it's automatically generated the method getListAsync, like here. First, I advise to write a public virtual iQueryable for our base. I mean, we need to generalize the effect on the query. So type of T, and we will get values. Call it whatever you want. I'm calling it get values. You can say get elements. Doesn't matter the name. We will take the skip as a parameter. We will take as a parameter, and maybe in the future we can also implement filtering and ordering expressions. Right now I will put those as parameters, but I will give a null function of T type and boolean nullable, of course. Filter would be null right now, but in the future we will maybe next day, day 4, we can implement also filtering function here in an abstract, and the ordering should be implemented same way. T of object item, as I remember it should be. So it will be order by. Right now we don't take anything here, so for the future reference we can implement something like that. We can take the query first as Q parameter, and if there is a filter, sure, let's put a link statement with that filter. If there is an order by statement as a parameter, and we can Q order by. By the way, we can write it like that because we have now the .NET 9 and 8 syntax. We can say is not no. This way it's more convenient and readable, and do the same thing. Order by. Here it is. So now we are ready to skip and take our query like this. Return Q skip index and take parameter. By the way, skip and take functions are already implemented in the queryable CS of the .NET Entity Framework. So a queryable is implemented like this. I mean, it's open source. To take is implemented like this. If you are interested, you can read the code and documentation about it. So we have the get values now. Now we can use the get values to get this async. We can say return get values now with necessary parameters skip and take, and to list async. We can make it an expression body for method like this, and it will look very nice. So the provider is ready because we implemented very good abstraction on the provider. All the providers like category, customers, suppliers, order and order details, products now can be in the service ordered by, filtered by, skipped and tagged. Okay, now since we have written our provider, we can move on to the next layer, services. But first, I will represent some model, a DTO model. I will call it page response. So we can call it PageList. We can inherit from base model abstract class. We call it public class PageList. I mean, if we page something like PageList of T, it's a generic, and this will be a base model for sure, where T is a also base model. That means the page list will be our return type of the paged endpoint calls. So it needs to first thing first, public required list of T items. And we can address the item count for serializing purposes, items that count. So at the React side and JavaScript side, we can get the item count from that point. And also we need to have a total count. It's required. In total count, get and set like this. And also for the pagination, we need to have a start index. Public required integer start index. And we will get set like this. Then we can make the calculations, like we can calculate now the end index. I mean, this could be also calculated by the JavaScript side, but I am abstracting the business. I mean, calculating a page in the end index could be a part of the service, and so our business won't leak to the client code. So having this in the server side seems more convenient to me, but some people could differ and think otherwise, and can carry out this kind of calculations to the user interface, because JavaScript can do it too. It depends. How do you think? I mean, yeah, page count needs to be calculated like total count divided by item count. I mean, think about it. You have 10 items and 5 items in a page. That makes 2 pages. You have 2 pages, and etc. Something like that. And the page index. Page index will be calculated like we can divide start index to the item count. Think about it. Your page index is 2 and your start index will be 6, and if you divide 6 to the item count of 5, you will be in the next page. I mean, in 0 indexed array you will be at the 1. That means you are in the second page. So it applies to all numbers. If we are in the last page or not, we can check is last page and index. The public boolean of last page is and index is equals or greater than total count. So it means you reach the total and you are at the last page. So I am putting this property. Maybe the next button, previous button, or the last page button can be populated about it. So this Versalite page list base model will be useful. Let's put it in another file. New type to PageList.cs. Now we have the PageList.cs here. Let's go to iBase service of types. As you can see, getList async is already implemented, and it's not good for the getList async all the time for all the elements in the data grids. It's bad for the performance. But don't forget about it. We should also have that method left here. If we delete and upgrade to immediately skip and take, I mean, how do we render then the combo boxes? If we need the list, yes, it's here. But we won't use for the grid and editing purposes on our user interface. It's here for other purposes, like combo boxes or lists. Right now, we will write another method with the return type. Just we created a page list of the type. We call the method name get paged list async with the parameters of skip and take. As you can see, it's now like a building blocks. Because we have implemented the provider, we can easily implement this service. Let's go to base service. As you can see, it's giving an error about it because we need to implement our new method on the interface. It's up. It's automatically end of file. and it's generated here. Let's take this from the end to below get list async, because we need to compare side by side. By the way, it's angry about it. Oh, by the way, iBase provider, I forgot about it. My overloaded version, and override the get list async. Let's put it back here, so it won't give an error on the service side at the get list async. Now the error is gone, and let's go to PageList async. The same drill like above. DB object equals to await provider get list async. Right now it needs to have the parameter and call the overloaded method. It's skip and take. Then the items. What's the value task, man? Just more items needs to be mapped to list of t, and we will give the DB object as a parameter. As we know, automapper will be mapped all the database properties into the data transfer objects, DTOs, and we need to also calculate total count and assign to a parameter. I mean, let's await provider get total count. There is no get total count on our providers. I forgot it. Let's go back to iBase provider, and easily we can implement it. We can implement some integer task, which is get total count. We can go to base provider like here, and in the base provider it will give an error. We can implement that interface. By the way, what is this using? Let's remove that unnecessary using. And if we go to get total count, it's very easy. We can return the query count async, and we can make an expression body like this. So it won't give an error in the service now, and it returns the total count of all elements in that entity. And let's forward. Let's arrange the return value. Retrval equals to new paged list of type, and let's give the required elements. Items is items, and we need a start index. Start index will be the skip property. It's given already as a parameter, and the total count we calculated from the database, and we will give the total count, and we can return that value. That's it. Now all our services that implements the base service has now get page list async function with skip and take parameters. Let's move on to the controllers. If we go to Untitled API Controller base, which we have created before, I saw a mistake here. I fixed it, a typo in the response. Right now we can see there is a get method here already, and we will have a different kind of get method with the necessary parameters. Async task of, again, action result of page list of type get. We will take skip and take as a parameters. Let's put the attributes like it needs to be an HTTP get method. I mean, we are getting something, and we can write like this. We are on the controller name slash skip slash, we will give a skip parameter here like this, then slash we will say take, and take an integer as a take parameter. I mean, you could also give different roles, but this is very nice right now. Now we can also skip and take like this, because we have already implemented the get page list async in the service. Next we can call the item count here. If it is something, we can return directly action result of page list of t, and we will give the return value as a parameter. Or else we can return new not found result. By the way, I have forgot a key new the constructor here. So it is now we can filter out with pagination or service endpoint. Yes, and let's run. Now it's built with success. Now it's running, and we should see the Swagger UI right now. And if we go to, for example, order, let's get order with skip and take. First get the all orders like here. I mean, it takes a little bit while because too much order there are. So we need to prevent this performance bottleneck. So we are implementing pagination. Let's wait. Yes. Now all the orders, look at it. 800 orders loaded from this get list. Imagine about it. 10,000 users trying to get their orders from this table, and every time they load the grid, 800 orders are loading and over and over and over again. Instead of this, now we have an implementation ready method, order slash skip and take. Let's try it out. Let's skip 0, which means start, and take 5 orders from them there. It returned with an array called items and item count of 5, total count of 830, start index is 0, end index is 5, page count is 166. So page index is 0, which means we are in the first page, and is it the last page? No, it's not. Let's go to second page in the next upcoming day. I think it will be day 5, I think, or day 3. Now we are on day 3, it will be day 4. Sorry about it. At that moment we will implement a React button that will skip now the first 5 items and take 5 items. Means we will be on the page 1. Let's execute. As you can see, now we are on the page, 0 index page 1 means the page 2, and the item count is 5 and it says is 10. Next page we can skip 10 and execute. Now it's working, and working for all the entities. Now the pagination for the backend is complete. Next day we will implement this backend implementation into the React frontend. Thanks. By the way, don't forget to subscribe and like this.